Manchester United then return to the Premier League this weekend, playing Norwich at home. On paper, you'd say definitely a Manchester United win, but with our performances lately, it doesn't look likely that we're going to get a comfortable win in this game. Hopefully, Manchester United can get back to winning ways in this game. I mean, Norwich are down the bottom, but have had some decent performances. I saw them against Arsenal. Didn't look very good first half, but come battling back to steal a point. So, I mean, and then we've seen on the other side they've lost, letting 6 goals against Newcastle. So they're a bit up and down. I mean, they're right near the bottom in the relegation zone. So they're going to want to come here and get a point if they can. Manchester United have really got to perform better than they have done in these sort of games at home. They've had a lot of 0-0s at home, not been able to break the teams down, but at this rate we could be letting more goals in again because our back four has been very inexperienced lately. We've had a lot of injuries there, and with the fact that Louis van Gaal didn't strengthen the back four enough, let some experienced players go, it's really costing us dearly this season. So where do we line up? How do we go from here? Obviously David Hayes is going to be in goal. Was criticised against Bournemouth, but did make a good save in the first half, although he could have maybe done better with the first goal. But vital for Manchester United this season to get any top 4 or top 3 or top 2 finish at all. Definitely need him to be at his absolute best. We're going to have to play a couple of inexperienced fullbacks again. Varela, who's actually 22, so he's more experienced than Bothwell-Jackson, who Bothwell-Jackson's going to have to play on the other side because Louis van Gaal's got already too many experienced players, the likes of Raphael, over the last year, and we've ended up got to play him. Now I think he could be a decent player for Manchester United and Varela in the future, but at this moment in time we do need some experience there. But Darmian's out injured, and we've got other players injured, so we've got no choice there but to play him really, because I can't see him playing Ashley Young there, to be honest. I don't know what's gone on with Ashley Young, but I would personally have preferred to see some experience in the back. In the centre, I would definitely go with Daley Blind and Chris Smalling. I'm not the biggest fan of Daley Blind playing at centre-back. I've said that he will get exposed against better teams, and that's what's happened. The Champions League proved that. Unfortunately, I don't think he's a brilliant centre-back. I would personally like to see Phil Jones there, but he can't stay fit. But hopefully Chris Smalling's back, because we've got to have Chris Smalling back. If he doesn't play, then it's going to be really difficult for Manchester United in this game, and we will have to play Paddy McNair again, which I don't know if he was quite fit enough to play the last game, fully fit, but he had to really play with the lack of other options there. There's just too many players out, and we should have replaced Johnny Evans in the summer. You get rid of him, an experienced player, and you don't bring another centre-half in. That really was a real blow to Manchester United. We were linked with so many players there, and we should have got someone in. Said that in the summer, if Chris Smalling gets injured, we're being real terrible problems, and he's the only real leader we've got at the back at the moment. I never thought he would become a leader, actually. I thought he'd probably have been shipped off by now, but luckily he has actually fulfilled his potential, because Phil Jones probably won't if he continues to stay injury prone. Now, where do we go in the midfield? Obviously Schweinsteiger's out, so it's going to be Carrick, and hopefully Schneiderlin will play. He has been injured, so hopefully he can come back. He was on the bench last weekend. Hopefully he'll play instead of Marouane Fellaini. Juan Mata will again play the number 10 role, because I can't imagine Herrera coming back into the team, possibly getting on the bench. I would go with Lin. I wouldn't put Lingard on one side. I would put Ashley Young on one side and Memphis on the other side. I want to see Ashley Young back in the team. I don't know what's happened to him. He said he was unfit and couldn't play last weekend, but he put him on the bench. I don't really understand that, to be honest. But Lingard took a knock in that game, so hopefully we will see him, Ashley Young, back in the team, because I think experience-wise we need a few older heads in the team, and we're really thin on the ground at the moment. Wayne Rooney's reportedly still out injured with this mysterious ankle injury. If he's actually got an injury at all, we really don't know. So Martial will again play up front. I think Martial's got to do more as well. He missed a good chance in that game against Bournemouth. Although he is only young, he's playing for Manchester United as the striker. This is obviously Louis van Gaal's fault that we're relying on a 19, 20-year-old to get the goals up front, and he hasn't scored in the Premier League since September. So he's really got to start hitting the goals again if Manchester United are to finish in that top 4, because 3 goals in the Barclays Premier League for a Manchester United striker, I'm afraid, isn't what Manchester United have had over the years. I mean, we've had the likes of Ruud van Nistelrooy and players like that. I mean, he probably will turn out to be a fantastic player for Manchester United, but was only really, I would have only really brought him in on top of a proven goal scorer in the summer as an addition. And Louis van Gaal letting Van Persie and Hernandez go really was a blow to Manchester United, considering we didn't bring another proven player in first. I mean, really, Martial should be a substitute in a lot of games this season, to be honest, and being brought on in games and having a proven striker up front. I mean, you saw when Manchester United bought Ronaldo all them years ago, he only played about 40 games in the first season, and we got to the FA Cup final. So, and he was used sparingly by Sir Alex Ferguson. A lot of times he would come off the bench in games and wouldn't play the full game. But we had a really good team back then. We had the likes of Van Nistelrooy and players like that who could score the goals. We had the likes of Giggs, Scholes, who could chip in with goals. Now Manchester United are so thin on the ground, shouldn't be relying on a 19, 20-year-old. That is a real problem for Louis van Gaal. And I can see why we're being linked with so many strikers in January, because really the likes of Lukaku or someone really does need to come in. Someone that's proven, that's still pretty young, still in their early 20s, 22, 23. Someone that scored goals would be a better option up front at this moment in time. If we had a really, really good team, then bring him into the team. But I would integrate him into the team over time. But at the moment we can't do that. Hopefully Memphis can step up as well. He's been a bit inconsistent as well. I know he's only young as well, but unfortunately we need these players to perform at Manchester United this season. We haven't got a lot of choice, even though they're young. We've got to rely on these players now, because he got rid of all the experienced players, which is a real shame for Manchester United. I mean, you look, even the likes of Danny Welbeck gone, maybe not good enough. Obviously he's injured at Arsenal, but still could have probably done a job. He's about 24, 25, lots of experience, playing in Champions League, Premier League, title winning side. So he could have done a job this season, but he's got rid of just far too many players for me. Hopefully we can get the win. I think if Juan Mata can perform better, a bit better in that number 10 role, I think we've got a good chance of beating these. Obviously the last game he was very, very poor. Hopefully he can step it up in this game. I still think that Louis van Gaal's tactics aren't helping this situation, because Rooney's played that number 10 role and been very, very poor this season. But most of the games that Juan Mata has played in for Manchester United, he's actually played better on the wing than in that number 10 role, which is a bit of a concern. Hopefully Louis van Gaal can turn this around, because I do want him to turn it around. I'm not so sure he will turn it around, but hopefully things can change and get on the up. God knows what's going to happen if we don't win this game. I hope we're going to win it. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Manchester United win. I think we will just scrape it. Hopefully we will scrape it. So real questions will be asked if we don't win this game. Another game which we will go without winning, which has been quite a few games now. We've hardly won any in the last about 10, 12 games. It is a concern. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What team would you go for against Norwich? Who's the danger men? I mean, the likes of Haaland will cause Manchester United problems. How do you see us lining up in this game? And where does Louis van Gaal go from here? Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will talk to you all again soon. See ya.